Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Book Library at Home. I'm Alexis Lawrence, your adult librarian, and today we're going to take a look at what ways we can utilize those repurposed candle jars that we worked on a couple of weeks ago. And you can check out that video on our YouTube channel at Wood Library. So this is one of the repurposed candle jars that we worked on. And as you can see right now, it's already full of some potting mix. And what we're going to use right now is Moisture Control Potting Mix by Miracle Grow. And the reason why we're using this one today, or the moisture control, is because due to the fact that we are using the repurposed candle jars, they do not provide the proper drainage that is normally required for regular containers. They don't have holes in it to drain the water. So moisture control potting mix helps with preventing the soil, the mix from getting mold and things like that in it. So it helps with things like that. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to work on making an herb garden today. And that's one of the things that you can actually do indoors with making an indoor herb garden. Because you don't actually have to transfer some of those materials outdoors later. And one of the things that I am going to try, because you can actually start growing it indoors and then transfer it outside later, is a hot pepper, because it can stay indoors for 8 weeks, and then for the remaining 10 days, you can actually transfer it outside later. And I'm going to use the bigger container for that. But today, I'm going to work on growing some rosemary, basil, and cilantro indoors. And so we have our jars, and they are filled with the potting soil. And we're going to go ahead and add our herbs to it. And you don't want to add the whole container, but you just want to add a few seeds to the potting mix. And add those there. And then we're going to cover it with a little more potting mix. There we go for those. And when you're watering this, you're going to want to make sure that you lightly water it so that it's not drenched in water, because as I said again, even though we're using moisture control, there's no way to properly drain this. So you don't want to drench it in water, because there's nowhere for the water to drain out or for it to be soaked up or go anywhere, because we're not using rocks for drainage or anything like that. So you want to lightly water it over time, and make sure you're keeping it in a sunny spot. So I'm going to put it in my windowsill so that it gets a lot of sunlight, and I'm going to lightly wet the soil so that it gets the proper amount of water in it so that my herb garden will grow. And I don't have many seeds, so I'm going to put all of my hot pepper seeds in there, cover it up with the remainder potting soil that I have. And there we have it. We have our indoor herb garden, and hopefully we'll have some nice plants to look back on later. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of Book Library at Home, and we hope to see you soon.